Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builders Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the National Guard products. Number 427. The 427 from National Guard is a typical standard saddle threshold is what it is. Maybe not standard, but it's certainly typical in the sense that it is a saddle type threshold. If you use your imagination, you can see why they call it a saddle. It is dimensionally common, maybe not the most common. 7 inches a little wide for it to be the most common, but let's go over that now. There is an image below this video showing those important dimensional properties. 7-inch wide, half-inch tall. And that is the 427. That's what the 427 means. It's half by 4. Pardon me. It's half by 7. Fluted top, beveled sort of returns down back to the floor. The 427, that means this threshold. It also infers that it's an aluminum base material with a mill finish. This is available in an aluminum base material as well, a dark bronze, and that would be a 427 DKB, dark bronze. This is also available in solid architectural bronze material, what some people call brass. 427 BR, and onto a BR, solid brass or architectural bronze base material, you can do a mill finish, a satin finish, which would be like a 606 finish, a polished finish, which would be like a 605, and a oil rubbed bronze finish, which would be a 613. It wouldn't be like, it would be those finishes. 606, 605, 613 finish. There is a link below this video to a document called Product Brochure, which is very handy because it will show you the 427 and some sister products to it. It happens to be on the last page. You're going to see the different widths of this family of thresholds. 7.5 inch, 6 inch, 5 inch, certainly 4 inch, 3 inch wide. You'll see some 1/4 inch rise material thresholds as well. The 1/2 inch is handicap compliant. That wasn't the case 20 years ago when ADA was first enacted as law, but it is now 1/2 inch permissible for handicap compliance. Why would you use a threshold like this? Well, a saddle threshold is seen everywhere, where you are literally installing a door and frame, and you have the floor, and you need to cover it with a threshold because it's an exterior wall, and you're going to need to seal it. 7 inch is certainly wider than standard, meaning a typical door frame will be, let's say, hollow metal, very common, the most common, 5 3/4. Aluminum storefront, it's going to be about 5 inch. What if you get into an application where you need an 8 3/4 jam depth frame, which is very common as well? You would want to, in my opinion, use a wider threshold, is what you'd want to do. Now, also what some people have done is, let's say you needed a custom offset threshold where it was going to butt up to something, or you needed to create some sort of condition. I've had people buy the wider threshold knowing that they're going to turn it over and rip it down to suit. Okay? You might also want to take a 7 inch frame like this and literally cope the profile of a standard, maybe a 4 3/4 frame, so that the legs can run long across the face of the hollow metal frame and butt up to a perpendicular wall. Let's say you had a 12 inch thick wall, 3 foot, so the OD of the hollow metal frame was 40 inch. You might order a 40 inch threshold, cope the profile of the frame, and run that long. Why? People like to be able to protect the bottom exposed parts of the frame, because always that's where the initial stages of rust occur on a hollow metal frame installation. Protecting that, sealing that, helps keep the salt and other material from the bottom of the frame. Just an insider tip, I suppose. Wherever you're going to use a 7 inch wide by 1/2 inch, however it solves your problem, that's great, super. There is this threshold available on the site in lots of different lengths as well. This happens to be a 3 foot piece. If you need a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field what length you'd like for us to ship it out to. The reasoning is this. If you had to take this 3 foot piece and cut it down to, say, 32 inch, you'd eliminate that countersink that's there. And speaking of that countersink, screws are included. About a number 10 by inch and a half flathead Phillips drive wood screw. So you're stuck not only cutting it, that might be a challenge for something so wide. You're also going to be stuck drilling a new hole and then countersinking a hole. And sometimes the countersinking is the problem. And I have seen countless thresholds where the installation has failed, where you step on the threshold and it moves. You look down and sure enough, it's just a flathead screw that's been drilled into a round hole. That's it. So that pressure that the threshold's going to endure is going to work that screw loose. Not only is it being worked this way, but the lateral forces of a threshold are working the screw this way as well. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion, before it fails. I personally like to go overboard when it comes to a threshold. When you think about the orders of magnitude of tonnage that it will have to enact or face over its lifespan, untold tons of force. I like to go with a lead anchor and a machine bolt. Drill that, seat that lead anchor, run a machine bolt down into it. That's good stuff. I also like to run a bead of caulk underneath here. I will also take a strip of neoprene and run that down and let it sit on top of the neoprene rather than rely on caulk. Keep in mind that will affect your overall height. However you install it, that's great. Belts and suspenders is how I like to install a threshold, is what I'm trying to say. So if you ordered a custom length, we'll not only give you the proper length, but we're going to locate that countersink at the proper distance from the edge, and of course the proper center to center as well. Finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the National Guard products that we sell, but a link to the product catalog, which is incredibly resourceful because the name National Guard is synonymous with all things weather stripping, and if you have more than an occasional need for weather stripping, familiarize yourself with their line, because they don't only make thresholds, perimeter gasketing, door sweeps, material made of aluminum like the 427, stainless steel, and again architectural bronze. They also have a comprehensive offering of steel vision frames for use in both wood and metal doors. If you have any questions on the National Guard products number 427, mill aluminum saddle type threshold, or any other National Guard product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.